He's a cross-discipline athlete, working as a baker, who in just 4 years became a top-tier freestyle skier with agile footwork, leaping down the pristine white slopes. This is Zhang Jiahao in competition, a true, seasoned veteran of skiing. Now, he has a bigger plan. My dream is to stand on the podium at the Beijing Winter Olympics. He started skiing at 17, an idea he never dared to have before. Because back then, he was the prime example of what not to do. Zhang Jiahao was never the perfect kid growing up. Not only was he mischievous, his grades weren't good either. He drifted aimlessly until graduation and accepted his family's arrangements, following in his father's footsteps as an apprentice baker in a hotel. The days passed by in a near boring fashion. His routine life was mundane and unremarkable. In such a plain life, where would an opportunity for change come from? Until he saw skiing for the first time through a rollerblading friend, it was like a clap of thunder on a clear day. A voice surged inside him. "This is so cool. I have to do this." And he jumped right in. His first experience wasn't a pleasant memory. He was basically a punching bag, repeatedly getting up close and personal with the ground. But he absolutely loved the feeling of being enveloped by the snow. It was a pure and relaxing world where he could completely forget the troubles of work and the mundanities of life, as if he had merged with nature. Freely gliding on the slopes, listening to the wind whistle past, and his board carving the snow. It was the most beautiful sound in the world. A snow fanatic was born. If we're talking about serious training, look at the international scene. They're all 4 years old, 5, or even 3 when they start skiing. By the time they're 14 or 15, after 10 years of skiing, they've basically reached a very peak level. I don't complain about my situation. Anyway, I've fought for the best I could get, and I've done the best I could do. During that time, there was only one word in Zhang Jiahao's dictionary: skiing. His apprentice salary was only 1,200 yuan at the time, and a single lift ticket cost 180. To not waste this luxury, he would sleep on the way to the ski resort after his night shift and skip meals once there. He would even skip bathroom breaks just to get in a few more runs. But his obsession didn't earn him anyone's approval. His colleagues thought he was a lunatic. His family, too, thought it was not a proper pursuit. Even his companions saw him as an emotionless skiing machine. This time, the snow fanatic chose to face it head-on with unstoppable determination. He scrimped and saved, saving up 3,000 yuan over a few months. Then he decided to splurge on a season pass for the indoor ski resort. He would bring his homemade bread to ask for tips from the experts he met. Time was short. He even turned down a girl's invitation to see a movie. Because he was in a hurry to go skiing, going to the movies was too much of a waste of time. As he became more skilled, Jiahao was no longer satisfied with just smooth gliding. So he started doing spins and jumps. He'd go up to the jump. My moves were sloppy, so it upped the ante, and my goals got bigger and bigger. Zhang Jiahao decided to quit his job and devote himself fully to the sport, and the snow fanatic's dedication slowly began to pay off. After gradually making a name for himself in the community, prize money and endorsements took care of his financial worries. The bigger surprise was, in 2016, as the only Chinese athlete, he represented his country for the first time at the New Zealand Continental Cup. The sense of mission was completely different from just skiing. It was exhilarating. Although he only placed 16th, Zhang Jiahao wasn't discouraged. Competing against the world's best gave the self-taught skier a chance to close the gap in skill and experience. And with Beijing's successful bid for the Winter Olympics, while he felt a sense of pride, a bold idea began to sprout in his mind. This young man from Beijing hoped to stand on the highest stage of skiing in his home country. He knew what this meant. At 17, the talented young Gu Eiling was already a world champion, and Su Yiming, in the same discipline, was unmatched in China. But he had only just started skiing. Now, at 26, an advanced age for the sport, he has essentially left the national team. He could only choose to go it alone. This path was destined not to be smooth. Like every athlete's Achilles heel, injuries were the first major hurdle on this path. In those wild and chaotic early days, he has fractured his left hand, and right leg. Every time he was injured, his biggest concern wasn't his condition, but how long he couldn't ski. Just one day before the 2018 FIS Beijing Open, he was injured again during training, rupturing a lung. He missed the chance to compete at the Bird's Nest. His plans upended. Zhang Jiahao could only wait for a follow-up appointment in a quiet hospital. He missed an opportunity that was right within his grasp, which became an eternal regret. But injuries were far from the only difficulties he faced. Because he had no team, he was his own coach, team doctor, translator, and logistics manager, driving and cooking for himself. Even if he handled everything perfectly, there was still a major restriction. The FIS stipulates that to get into the Olympics, you must have enough FIS points and World Cup experience. To make matters worse, as the pandemic spread, many competitions were forced to be canceled. This past August, he missed the chance to compete in Argentina due to visa issues. In Chile, it was uncertain if the competition would even be held due to the temperature. To leave no regrets, he decided to go all in, packed his bags, and headed to the country at the end of the world. During a video call with CCTV, his grandmother's only wish was for him to get a good result. Do well, okay? Do well in your test, okay? You didn't do well on the last test, so you have to do well now. I lean on the tower, listening to the wind and rain, but watch the storms of this world. The storms did not extinguish the young man's faith. Every move in the competition was exceptionally perfect. When he was airborne, he was like an eagle. While gliding, he was like a spirit. In the end, Jiahao did not disappoint his grandmother. He won the championship in big air and, in slopestyle, took second place. With 1 gold. His next stops are Switzerland and the Netherlands, then the United States. But Jiahao is no longer afraid. Just as he said, skiing changed his life. A former baker has no regrets getting to this point. As long as he does his best and enjoys the process, there are still 20 minutes before he goes up. After eating, he finishes packing his bag and gets ready. Life has many testing grounds. This long-haired young man may not have turned in a perfect answer sheet in school or at his first job. But skiing is the testing ground. Jiahao found when he was 17 and could never leave. The path of a lone test taker is destined to be difficult. He fell time and time again and got back up time and time again. With all his energy and passion, he pursued his snowbound dream. One man's Winter Olympics, the sincerity of a lone hero. This test is far from over. I believe he will use his unyielding spirit and passion to write his own most satisfying answer. Jiahao, well, see you at the Beijing Winter Olympics.